That's the emotional reactive brain, the amygdala, that's going to keep us very safe.
A lot of people have created this pattern. We want to break that.
Can I learn to correct something so that if and when it happens again, can I get off the train quicker?
Your thoughts and your feels is part of the program. It's part of the journey.
It makes a huge difference.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified about our latest videos. How does your past and your history of dieting factor into your current journey? Just one of the things we're going to talk about today with my guest, Dr. Beverley David, clinical psychologist, is here. Hello.
Good morning, Gina. What a beautiful morning it is.
This is the time where the feels start creeping in, especially when they get on the scale isn't moving. They sign up for this 91-day program, but they're already having doubts, and rightfully so. And there is a rhyme and a reason to why people have the feels and the thoughts that they're having. But how do we not let that get in our way? Or should we start with where do those thoughts come from in the first place?
And often I talk about the 5 Ps, and they're 5 words beginning with P. The first P is the presenting thing. What are you presenting with? Is it that you, and this might be that bit that's the feels. You might say, I am presenting with doubt. I am presenting with uncertainty. I'm presenting with anxiety about this program. And then I would be thinking, okay, what do you want to do about that? How would working with Gina, how would listening into the psychology part, how would that help? And you might say, I want to have more doubt. I want more certainty. I want more calmness. I want more sense of management instead of that swirly feeling. Then we would let's go to predisposing factors. And that's what you're talking about a little bit now. Where did this all come from? And that's that nature-nurture debate that psychologists like to talk about. We think we're not a blank slate. We have histories. And the history of even before we're born in our mummy's tummy will have informed our makeup. Are we a worrying type of person? Are we a perfectionist type of person? Are we hypervigilant as the minute we're born? Because if our mummies were very stressful, it's going to be passed to the baby sensibly, because then we're prepared for the world we're born into. But then there's the nurture. What happened when we arrived? How did our caregivers talk to us, respond to us? How did they see us? Did they see our value and worth regardless of external things? Or were we praised or celebrated if we were this shape or got this grade or got onto that team? Okay, so we're filled with messages, not only from our parents, but then our village and our coaches and our culture and the magazines and the TV shows that we will have watched. And it goes into that very clever brain that then informs our thought processes. So we want to think about that. I think, right, where did we come from? Now, what we've got to remember is this clever brain. If I use my fist now, this is our smart brain. So our thumb is tucked inside. That's the emotional reactive brain, the amygdala, that's going to keep us very safe. It's very old-fashioned. It's millions and millions of years old. Sometimes we call it the reptilian brain. Sometimes we call it the chimp in our brain. And then our smart brain covers that. And this is where we think clever, we can plan, we're logical, we're kinder to ourselves, we have perspective, we can think tomorrow is a new day. The scale is information. It's all that nice bit. Okay, that it's a bit of a boring bit as well, though. Okay, so this is sort of the Sherlock sensible person. We now have less access to the clever brain that has Gina says, trust the process. Everybody says progress over perfection. Gina says it's just data. We can't remember that now because this brain is way slower than this brain.
Your brain, your body and your brain is sending signals. Your body's reacting. You have a treat. You have a stressful day. You have a treat. Immediately you have thoughts that you've ruined everything. You're the worst person in the world. You're never going to be able to lose your weight. You starve yourself the next day, or you sabotage by eating even more. And that's your pattern. That's your pattern. A lot of people have created this pattern with dieting, and we want to break that. A lot of that's easier said than done. I have a lot of people who panic unless they are perfect. It's not worth doing, or they mess up. Have a few bites of bits here or there, or have an off day, off weekend, off week, and think, well, they need to start again, or
Mm.
they're never going to be successful. I think this is a good example for you to use capture, cancel, correct. So Holly says, I just woke up on the West Coast, logged in to see this, and immediately had a panic attack
Mm.
and have started sweating, thinking of changing my fear around losing weight, fear of being seen, fear of positive judgment, fear of who I will be when I'm not the fat, funny one. So whether it's getting on your scale and these feels come up, or you've eaten something and the feels come up, or you've just woken up like Holly and those feels come up, can we capture, cancel, correct this?
Okay. So the catch it, cancel, correct it is a clever, fast way. First of all, catch it is pause. Okay, it's catch that something's happening. Aha, I'm in a loop. Gonna catch it. I might even catch the style of thinking. I'm fortune telling. I'm in the future. Okay, that is often very anxiety provoking. Okay, so we want to catch it and think, hang on, can I move back to the now? So we're cancelling that for a moment. We're going, okay, cancel it. I'm here. The sky is blue. I'm at my desk. I've got my water. I'm going to ground myself. Okay, so now we're cancelling the trip. Instead of tripping down to negativity or the forest of no return, or we're cancelling the trip. We're pausing the train and we're getting off. And then we want to think, okay, can we correct it some way? Can we now bring wise mind on? And it might not be in that very moment that you're doing all these three things. Okay, you might have caught it in the morning and thought, right, I noticed I panicked. I noticed I was hot. I might have also noticed these were the thoughts I thought. What if I am not the funny one anymore? What if I lose weight and I'm different? What does that mean to me? Okay, so now we're going there. Cancel it might be pause for a minute. Pause, take a break, take some space, maybe journal it, join the live, maybe don't leave the live and listen to it later. And then the correct is later on thinking, now what would I say to that thing that happened? I've noticed the trigger. I've noticed where my thoughts went. And now that I'm a little bit further away from it, what have I learned? Can I learn to correct something so that if and when it happens again, if I get back on that train next time, can I get off the train quicker?
All the stuff you piled on from the diet industry and trying to lose weight, and all of that, like, there's a lot. Some people got their suitcases are just like overflowing and don't even know where to start with that. Is there Do you need to unpack your suitcase,
You
or
can you can start where you are. You can definitely start here and now. We don't always have to go way back. We can do behavioral activation and begin and think, let's start. They're already here. You're already doing something very, very novel. This is it. Just turning up. I don't know whether I want to use the word, but just turning up is an intervention. Okay. It is interrupting the cycles that we're in. Doing small things, it makes a huge difference. Okay.
this is a big part where I say your thoughts and your feels is part of the program. It's part of the process. It's part of the journey. And it's paying attention.